Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 16, Episode 18, The Reunion Part 1. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. So, I really need to start off by saying that when I first started watching The Housewives, I watched The Housewives for the laughs, for the glam, for the beautiful homes, things like that. I do like to laugh when watching The Housewives. Watching this reunion was exhausting and difficult. This reunion was so one-sided. They pretty much gaslighted the hell out of Shannon and Noella, the whole reunion. Emily and Gina and Heather were never called out or held responsible for any of the things that they did this season. They just kept hammering Noella and Shannon. And, it just was not fun to watch. And I am going on record that if they do not shake up this cast and bring back some fun and bring back some accountability, I will not be watching The Real Housewives of the OC next season, and I won't be covering it. I mean, it's just difficult to see it. So when the show starts off, we see the fiasco that was going on with Shannon and her dress. Her dress designer, Bones. I loved him when he was on Project Runway, but something clearly went wrong, and Shannon ended up having to get assistance from production to find her a dress. They found something off the rack last minute, and I can tell you, out of all of those women on that stage, Shannon looked the absolute best. She was absolutely gorgeous. And even though Emily irritated the absolute hell out of me, I thought that Emily and Noella looked beautiful. Now, what Gina had on, I could have made that in home ec. I'm not quite sure what she thought that outfit was given, but it wasn't the best. It was something about that top. It bothered me. At the top of the show, they talk about Jen purchasing a new house, but we, of course, already knew about that. She says that she's not sure if Ryan will be living with her or not. So I have no idea what's going on with Jen and Ryan, and I really don't care. I think that Jen and Ryan do not belong on reality TV. They were quite boring. If I was Jen, I would cut my losses. This relationship is not working out. I think that she treats Ryan terribly, and I think that Ryan doesn't care about her at all. He would rather spend his time with the children and Mr. Peppers. And if she really wants to be vengeful, she should divorce him and seek custody of Mr. Peppers. That would cut him off at the knee. I'm just saying. So in this reunion, I'm only going to hit the hot spots. The segment when they talked to Heather about her children really touched me. There is not much that I like about Heather Dubrow, but one thing I do love about Heather is that she is a real good mom. She is open. She allows her kids to be honest, to share their thoughts and opinions, and she is clearly there for them no matter what the situation is, and that's what moms do. So I appreciate that about Heather. Then they do the montage regarding Noella's relationship with Sweet James. Ooh, Sweet James turned out not to be so sweet.
Seeking arrangement.
Oh, you met on Seeking Arrangements?
Yes, sir. He was separated when I met him, and so we had a wedding ceremony, knowing that it wasn't fully legal.
Because he was still married.
Your ex maintains that you were going to file for separation before he filed
and they claim that they received notice from your attorney. It was a race to see where jurisdiction could be established.
What happened that made James file for divorce?
Once the cameras were around and all these tax things and all these
Reaction to you joining the show.
He was ecstatic. Listen, babe, I can't do this. It could damage our family.
You would have chose
in a heartbeat.
I don't know if I believe that.
I don't believe that at all.
You wanted to be on the show.
Stretching to get to that point.
Multiple people now to be telling her what she was thinking, what her intentions were.
I never said it.
No, I know it was speculating.
Going on in California.
Wait, can I ask a question though? Because his attorney understood why he filed in Puerto Rico, because that would be where jurisdiction is.
He's licensed in California. We live in California. We're married in California. We're voter registration or driver's license.
Now, finding out that they met on Seeking Arrangements, I'm not really shocked or surprised by it. Noella does not seem to be the type of woman that could deal with a regular 9-to-5 blue-collar guy. I just can't get over all of Emily's interruptions. Emily's interruptions were bothering me so bad because I just kept screaming at my television, Emily, shut the F up. What is this to you? You did not represent Noella or her husband legally. You are an attorney, but you are not their attorney. So why are you so invested in this woman's divorce, the residency, where they filed, how they met, stack of vaginas? None of that is your business. And the fact that Emily, Heather, and Gina sat there rolling their eyes and rolling their necks, it was just a bit disturbing. You ladies, grow the hell up. And I appreciate the fact that Noella was so unbothered. Noella kept it cute. Emily, what the hell? One thing you can say, Noella may be annoying, but she really gets these women wound up. Emily was trying so hard. Girl, please stop this. I also appreciate Noella explaining to Emily. All of her documents say that she's a resident of California. Just because you have a vacation home anywhere in the world does not mean that you are a resident of that place. Also, Noella clearly stated that when she met Sweet James that he was married. She said that. She said that he was separated. Emily had to make it her business to point out that they didn't get legally married because he was already married. Okay? Again, this is none of your business. And I also noticed that, according to some Bravo insiders, Noella is not the first Real Housewife to meet her match on Seeking Arrangement. Appreciate that she's honest about it. Everybody knows if you jump on Seeking Arrangement what you are seeking. You are seeking a financial arrangement, a tit for tat, a quick pro quo. I do for you, you do for me, financially. You know what I'm saying? It's the audacity for me. You know, Emily, Gina, and Heather, they have the audacity to question Noella. You know, later in the show, they had asked Gina, when she plans on marrying Travis or if she's going to marry Travis. And she gave this whole, well, we've got 6 kids and we've got planning to do. We got to pay for college. Well, the first thing Travis needs to do is divorce his wife. Okay? Emily, why weren't you shouting that across the couch? Well, he's got to get a divorce first, right, Gina? You know, because according to Travis's ex, who is currently his legal wife, she posted on Instagram, when are you going to sign these divorce papers? So, okay. So stop trying to be the morality police. And can I just let Emily know that Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory? Girl, listen, mind your business. Now, when Noella says that Sweet James was excited about her being on the show, I think she's lying. I do believe him when he came out online and said that he was not happy about her being on the Housewives. Vicki Gunvalson and Tamara came out and said that Noella has been trying to be on the Real Housewives for years, and that she became friends with Vicki purposely in the hopes of Vicki helping her get on the show, and that Sweet James had been saying over and over and over again that he really did not want her to be on the Real Housewives. Now, I don't know if Sweet James was telling everybody else that he didn't want Noella to be on the show but not telling her, or if she is just absolutely lying, but I'm going to go with she's lying. I think that she really did just want to be famous and she didn't care. I think she thought that I'm going to get on this show and then somehow I'll throw him another stack of vaginas and he'll forget about it and be okay with me being on this show. That's just my opinion. Noella does have a new boyfriend. He's 33 and she posted online that he was her twin flame. It turns out after 2 weeks of dating, he bought her own adult toy company. And I said, man, Noella, you need to write a book, get a seminar, maybe post up some Zoom classes. I would attend. You know, what do I have to throw on a man to get him to buy me a company after 2 weeks? I'm just saying, I'm just, you know, asking for a friend. I don't know. I mean, Emily, oh my gosh, that woman really sent me over the edge. Andy is trying to mind his business and ask Hope's questions, and she's jumping in. And let me just say, well, I mean, good God, woman, you didn't have a storyline this season to save your life. Why don't you talk to us about you and your business? Wait a minute, do you have business? No, shut up. Then when Emily brings up the stack of vaginas, which, girl, you had already asked Noella every question you could think of about that stack of vaginas. But you needed to bring it up so that you could try to impeach her, you know, since you in your lawyer mode. I think what happened was Emily saw the reunion for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and she saw the props that Meredith got for being a lawyer and asking lawyer type questions, and she wanted to try to throw her little lawyer cap in the ring. Girl, please sit back and shut the hell up. Anyway, she tried to ask her if Sweet James had the sex with all the vaginas. And Heather was off to the background talking about, I thought she said that he had sex with all those girls, you know, and Noella clarified it. James was just a watcher and she was with the vaginas, not James. You know, listen, personally, I'm never giving my husband a stack of vaginas. He could forget it. You got this one vagina for the rest of your life. Love it or gone somewhere. I'm just saying. So after that, they go on to this montage about Heather and Shannon's friendship.
Whoa.
No, I think she said
let's let Gina respond.
Okay,
It's
then
best
Gina
that you
respond.
not respond for Gina.
I was encouraging you to do the right thing. It seemed like something that you were trying to plant or seed for later that was going to be a big deal. Like,
I'm not
that's
going to bring
ridiculous.
it up on camera.
And we would,
I'm not done.
Yes.
Stop interrupting me. Like,
How this show works. You told 2 people on a show about 2 other people on a show at the very beginning of a season. Did you honestly think that that was never going to come up? Pulled the pin out of the grenade and you handed it to Gina and me.
Now, honey, listen, I love Shannon telling Emily to back down and shut up. Okay? I appreciate Shannon standing up for herself. You do not need to jump in here. Gina can answer these questions. We're talking to Gina now, not you, Emily. Now, here's the thing. I think people fail to understand this. At the beginning of the season, Gina, Shannon, and Emily came together and they said how close they are. They are real friends in real life, and we are going to stick together this season, the 3 of us. They were the new Tres Amigas. You know, they were so close, hugging. I love you. Oh my God. I love you. You know, all of that crap. And off camera, drunk Shannon told them about this lawsuit. And she asked them not to repeat it on camera as friends. They are the ones, by they I mean Gina. Gina is the one who brought this on camera. So the fact that Heather and Gina and Emily tried to put all of it onto Shannon is absolutely ridiculous to me.
The fact that Emily and Gina doubled down on not, you know, it's all
they
Shannon's
didn't take
fault.
accountability. They blamed it all on Shannon. And let's not forget about Nicole James. Come on. If she was good friends with Heather, that's who I would be mad at. That's truly who I'd be mad at. You're going to come on a show that I just got asked back to with this secret, knowing how the show works. Why wouldn't you come to me prior and say, listen, you know, I got casted, but there's something I'm afraid might come up.
Emily making that comment that, well, if you tell 2 people who are on the show about something, you have to know it's going to get out. It's like pulling the pin on a grenade and giving it to me and Gina. Really? If I am not on camera with my girlfriends who claim to be my real life friends, I should be able to say anything I want. Especially when my girlfriends have just promised me loyalty and to be quiet. That's not right. It really wasn't. So Shannon takes responsibility for her part, and she clearly says, this is my fault. Here's Emily jumping in. Yeah, that was your fault. That was your fault. Girl, are you a parrot? Shut up. And then for Gina to say that she's taking responsibility for her part, when? Because you are not taking responsibility for anything throughout this reunion. Emily and Gina are the types of women that have to tear down another woman in order to build themselves up. And those two are women that I would never associate myself with. If you feel that you have to rip me to shreds and treat me like crap every time I see you to make yourself feel better, honey, listen, we are not friends. We are not associates. We are nothing. And for Heather to make the comment that it was 20 years ago. Okay, it's 20 years ago. Move the hell on. Move on. What you should be is pissed off at Nicole for never telling you that she sued your husband. You should be pissed off at Gina for bringing it on camera. This is ridiculous. Heather goes on to say that she's not mad at Emily and Gina because they apologized to her. However, we all saw Shannon apologize to her multiple times. Fake mob acting that she tried to do. Girl, please. I mean, seriously. When she threatened Shannon with the lawsuit, she tried to say that she never would have sued Shannon. That is a lie. Girl, that is a lie. And we do not need Maury Povich for that. Andy then tells Emily that she's a truth teller.
Why has it been so important for you to be the truth teller this year?
If you feel a certain way about someone, then you should say it. I really don't do it with a malicious intent.
But if you're going to do it, you need to make sure that your translation isn't misconstrued, exaggerated, or basically a telephone game.
Honey, listen. If Emily is a truth teller, then Miss Cleo was always telling facts. I mean, girls, shut the hell up. You were an instigator, a pot stirrer, and you were always trying to get something going because you had nothing else. I realized that I should not take this personal. I really shouldn't. But I was really drained watching this. It's exhausting to watch Gina, Emily, and Heather. It really is. And I bet you Bravo brings all three of them back. The way Emily was acting was aggressive and rude. Not one person called her aggressive or rude. But I absolutely bet you if Noella had acted a fool on that stage, she would have been aggressive and rude. I'm just saying it. She would have been the angry woman who acted out. This episode was not fun to watch. Emily makes some kind of statement in the show that no lawyer is going to file paperwork that isn't true. Girl, you're lying now. Lawyers file stuff that's not true all the time in the benefit of their client. There's always a way to skirt around the truth.
This isn't a little side hustle. I'm not making trucker hats. 8 years ago, I protected your family. I knew David was having an affair. By the way, you knew David was having an affair. The world knew. And it was...
Oh, wait a minute. You're telling me that I knew? How
that is not true. You knew at the...
Believable.
I could have blown up your family.
Nice. Thank you so much, Heather.
Yes, you're welcome.
It's 100% my fault that I had too much to drink one night and told two girls.
That is 100%
It is my
your
fault. 100% my fault.
And I've already accepted responsibility for how I misstepped.
I think that Heather bringing up David's affair was unnecessarily rude and vile. It really was. You know how broken Shannon was over that divorce. Heather said herself that this lawsuit was over 20 years ago, and she says, you're messing with our livelihood and we're not selling trucker hats. And I would just like to say, in defense of the people who are selling trucker hats, there are a lot of people who sell hats that make hella good money. So, you know, leave the people with the smaller businesses the hell alone. I'm just saying. If you don't really care and it's not a big deal, then why bring up this David thing to Shannon? It's not necessary. You brought it up to hurt her.
Okay, can we, this is between us, Emily.
Well, I'm not allowed to have an opinion about what you said.
And again, I apologize. So should I do it 3 times?
Why are you talking to me like that?
I believe that friendship is a two-way street. And you've been gunning for me. And what's so interesting...
Gunning for you? I don't gun for anybody, Shannon.
Your first season, it was you've not made it. Let me finish. This is what you do. You always cut people off.
You're going to lose your voice because you did too many ding-dong things this year. And now you're coming to pay the piper. You know what's mean-spirited? Watching John. Tell me I could go myself how aggressive he was towards me.
Gina in that stupid comment that she doesn't gun for Shannon. Girl, have you even watched this season? I know that Bravo sends you each episode a week early. I know they do. You had to have watched yourself back. Were you there? Were you fully functional and sober? You know that you gunned for her all season. You and Emily. It's the delusion for me. It's as if Gina and Shannon came on the show and said, you know what? It's the reunion. We are going to do everything we can to make sure Shannon can't say crap. Because if she does, she's going to call us out and then we're going to have to answer for our behavior. And then at the very end, when they showed the previews for next week, and Gina brings up that John was talking bad about her and that he was aggressive, I was so pissed off. I said, you know what, girl? Listen here. That man was supporting his woman. He always greeted you kindly when he saw you. What he said about you, he said to Shannon. That man never walked up to you and confronted you and disrespected you and treated you badly, ever. So for you to say that he was aggressive towards you, you know what? You are not a victim here. Okay, had that man approached you physically or it screamed at you across the room, screamed in your face, then hell yeah, people would have been pissed. Somebody should check him for that. But what he was saying to his woman, girls, you are no victim. Shut the hell up. You guys, I'm over this. I'm over this. I'm gonna try to hang in for part 2 of this reunion, but I think I'm done with the Real Housewives of OC. And until next time, bye.